Kanye West is one of the most fascinating artists of our generation, and he's kept us highly entertained for almost 20 years now. Whether he's captivating us with what he says in the booth or outside of it, Kanye has no problem making headlines. Something that seems to always make headlines involving Kanye are his album releases. New Kanye albums are as far from straightforward as you can possibly get. Whether it's the title, the release date, who's on it, the track list, we are all very aware that Ye is extremely picky when it comes to putting out new albums. Sometimes they don't come out at all. One album in particular received several release dates and still never came out. Yandhi became kind of a cult favorite with an endless amount of people mixing it in different ways and uploading it to YouTube shortly after it became clear that Kanye was not going to officially release the long-awaited album, which is why it's so frustrating. We've heard the masterpiece that it could and should have been, but we never got it. Or did we? What happened to Yandhi?
From the home of Soldier Field, come home to side Soldier Field. All that killing over, that's just overkill. Yeezy back in the shot, it's that Oprah field.
In the first half of 2018, Kanye West put out 2 albums in Ye and Kid See Ghost. The latter was made with Kid Cudi. At the end of the summer, Kanye announced that he would be performing live for the 44th season premiere of SNL, and on that same day, September 29th, he'd be releasing his 3rd album of the year, Yandhi. He also put out the album cover, which closely resembled his Yeezus album cover, and it gave a lot of people the impression that this was going to sound similar to Yeezus. But the tone of Yeezus had a general darker theme to it. With Yandhi, the cover implied that the album would have a lighter tone. But September 29th came and went with no new music, and after a couple days, Kim Kardashian, Kanye's wife, announced on Twitter that Yandhi would be coming on November 23rd. In the meantime, Kanye had relocated to Uganda to finish the album. He had studio sessions from within this huge biodome type thing, and that whole project was really cool. But from all the snippets that we heard from those sessions, most of it sounded very early in the process. So I'm not sure what from the Uganda studio sessions ended up landing on Yandhi, if any of it did at all. Hell, he could have gotten out there and just got on a creative wave that wasn't related to Yandhi at all. You never know when it comes to Kanye. But anyway, before the 23rd even came around, Kanye performed a live show alongside Kid Cudi, and afterwards, it made Ye realize that the new album was not ready yet, and he would announce the release date once it was done. This was a really bad sign for those who were highly anticipating a new Kanye album. Once 2019 came around, Kanye evolved into a different form again. You see, I always like subscribing to the idea of separate the art from the artist. But with Kanye West, he makes it extremely difficult to do that. I'm not sure he wants us to separate his art from him as a person. But regardless, in 2019, we saw Kanye really get reconnected with God. He started Sunday service, and we basically stopped hearing anything about Yandhi. And in September of 2019, Kanye announced that he was done making secular music and he was only making gospel music from that point forward, which for those of us who were still holding out for Yandhi, that announcement was a huge shot to the gut. And at the end of September, Kim K posted a photo of a track list to Jesus is King, which was confirmed to be Kanye's next album. And it released on October 25th, 2019, putting the nail in Yandhi's tiny coffin. Between the leaks and Ye's primary goal in life shifting to spread the gospel, Kanye basically took a chunk of Yandhi and turned it into Jesus is King. The first 2 songs that jump out to me were Salah and Everything We Need, which is basically the storm on Yandhi. YouTube has been flooded with Yandhi mixtapes, which are made by saints who've pieced together all of the Yandhi leaks that are on the internet. Don't get me wrong, I highly enjoy Jesus is King, but it's so frustrating hearing Yandhi mixes because you can hear what Jesus is King should have been. But do you think even if Kanye didn't decide to go full on Christian and only make gospel music, that we would have gotten Yandhi? Leave a comment below with your answer. I personally still don't think so because of the amount of tracks that leaked, and it wouldn't be the first project that Kanye decided to scrap entirely. But unfortunately, Yandhi became one of those projects that got caught in the weird phase between Kanye's evolutions, which moved the album to the back burner, and then eventually off the stove entirely. While you're heading down to the comments to let me know about your thoughts on Yandhi, be sure to tap the like button and also subscribe to the channel. I've got a playlist here on the channel that features a bunch of these What Happened To videos, and if you want to keep up with music I'm currently listening to, click the first link in the description and follow the Galactic Grizzly Spotify playlist. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace. You see, I always like subscribing to the idea of a separate... The hell? I'm not sure he wants us to separate his heart. That would be, you probably wouldn't want that either. I'm not sure he wants us to separate his art from his person.